Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're seeing me, you're so welcome. I am Adebanjo Faith, and in this video I'm going to be sharing a bit of my experience in my second pregnancy journey. Now, I made about 2 or 3 videos about my first pregnancy journey, so if you've not seen it yet, please do well to check it out, because I mentioned some displeasures, some things that I really did not like about that particular experience, and then some of my experiences after delivery. So please, it will do you well to check it out, because I'm sure you'll benefit from watching that video. Now, straight to this one. This is my second child, my second baby, and currently we are running, okay, this is the 8th week, and I had my first child last year. So we have 2 children in 2 years, and that is where I'm going to start from. So when we discovered we were pregnant, of course it wasn't like we anticipated it, and we walked towards it in quotes, but it happened. Now, the first questions most of the time that runs through our mind when we meet a woman who experiences such kind of thing is that, didn't you do family planning? Like, what was wrong with you? Like, can't you take care of yourself? But, well, as we all know, it doesn't go exactly like that. Now, speaking of family planning, you know that when it comes to family planning, different women undergoes different things at different times. Now, before I even talk about women, number one, why is it that men cannot even also have family planning? Like, why is it that it is the woman's body that has to go through all of those stuff? We're the one that have to get things inserted into, take drugs, take injections. Like, really, why do we have to do all of that? Like, can't the man also, Anyways, that aside, different things happen to different women because of family planning. Some grow excessively fat, some begin to have breakouts on their skin, irregular menstruation, maybe no menstruation at all, pain. Some people, it doesn't even work with them and they have to go to the hospital to take it out immediately, whatever type of family planning they use. So the issue of family planning has always been a question mark in my mind, even before we even started giving birth to children. And by the time we gave birth to our first daughter, it was 10 months thereabout before I took in. And I, even as at that point, we're still wondering that, okay, if we use this one, like I couldn't make up my mind, because I did not want any of those side effects that I was seeing. So getting to choose the perfect, or the right, at least the right and the most convenient family planning method was an issue. So that is that for that. And when we now discover that, okay, someone is on her way, well, the major thing that was on my husband's mind was like, man, how will you cope? And me, girl, was like, oh boy, really? When we calculated the whole thing, okay, my daughter was going to be a year, 7 months by the time we put to bed. And well, we shall know that the Lord is all our combined strength. And we are so grateful for this bundle of joy. Like, really, whenever I look at her, like, I just have this joy filled up inside of me. So that is the first chapter of the pre-pregnancy story. How we did it, I was breastfeeding my daughter because she was just 10 months, and I was still breastfeeding my first daughter when I took in. So I still continued breastfeeding her up until she was 1 year, and we weaned her at 1 year. Now, even if I had not taken in, I still had this mind that I was going to wean my daughter by 1 year. So it was not the baby that made me win her, but at least it was a big relief that she stopped breastfeeding at 1 year. And speaking of how I weaned her, maybe that will be another topic in another video. It was not so difficult, thankfully. I had the usual morning sickness, ran away from food smell, soup, stew, and all of that, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to when I put to bed. Okay. The hospital we used, as opposed to the one we used in my first pregnancy, we opted for a private hospital this time around. So my first pregnancy was a government hospital. This one is a private hospital. And of course, it was more expensive, definitely. But I was just watching to see if their services would be different. So fast forward to when I put to bed. Fine, we were checked in. It was a single room, meaning I had the whole room to myself. Secondly, I wanted my husband to be there when I was giving birth. He was not allowed in the labor room in the government hospital in my first pregnancy, which I didn't like. But this time around, he was right there. Like, I just wanted him to be there. Like, hello, like he should just be there. Let's do it together, you know. And I'm glad. I want to also salute him because, man, he's not that type of person that can stand blood. But we thank God that the Lord gave him the strength. We pulled through together. Thirdly, the delivery process was smooth and fast. In my first labor, in fact, maybe when you watch the video, it lasted the whole night until half of the second day. In fact, the previous day, it lasted the whole day. Friday, the whole day I was in labor, but it was coming gradually. And then by night, it became intense through the night till noon of the second day. But this particular one, yes, I was already feeling it Tuesday morning. I went to work as usual. I came back. I was already just once if it was coming, going. It was not really too serious. But it was at night, it started intensifying. And by the time we got to the hospital, the doctor said I was already 6 centimeters. Like, whoa. And in 3 hours, I guess, because we got to the hospital around 10, by 8, by 10, 11, 12. By 12, by 1, I had put to bed. Like, it was that fast. The nurses, the doctor, in fact, the main doctor that was in charge was not around, and they did not even need to call him, because even if they had called him, I would have put to bed, and there was no even complication at all. So I'm really grateful to God for that process. Moving on to suturing. Women usually have tears whenever we get put to bed, especially depending on the size of the baby or how that area is. Now, my first delivery, I had tear and it was painful. Like, it was hell. Suturing it back. Please go and watch it if you have not watched it, because I won't, you know. So this time around, I was given an anesthesia for suturing. The tears were not as bad as the first, of course. It was just a few bruises and just a little cut. Tear, not cut. But I was still given anesthesia to even suture the little one that was there. I was now thinking in my mind, why wasn't I given anesthesia? Why didn't they do that in the first pregnancy? Sincerely, it was painful. This one, in fact, after after the whole thing, I could sit on the bed, like I could sit down. That one, I could not. The first pregnancy, I could not. So I think these particular experiences were better, and I would use this opportunity to say, please, I think our government need to do better when it comes to facilities for a private hospital, because for facilities for the government hospital, if I start comparing now, in fact, it is not going to, it wouldn't, maybe that would be some other video entirely, sitting down and doing the comparison side by side. Of course, your money goes for it, but I think we can step up that even someone who cannot afford the private hospital will still get good care in the government hospital. I'm sure some government hospitals are trying, but I know that we can do better. We can do better. So that is that for my pre and during delivery process. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you picked one or two things from it, even if it's just for entertainment purposes. So as usual, please drop your comments. If you have put to bed before, how was your experience? If you use the private, if you use just drop your comments, and let's just keep this conversation rolling. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do well to hit the subscribe button, because I release weekly, every Fridays, parenting content that will definitely bless you. How you handle your children. And I now am a mom of 2 girls, and I am learning a lot. So I would be sharing what I am learning. And I'm sure you will learn a lot from this channel. So please press that subscribe button now. Yes, press it. And also hit the notification bell beside, so that whenever a new video comes up, you will be the first to know. Thank you so much for staying and for watching to the end, and see you in my next video. So I'll be giving you a gist of how it was after delivery. Like, that was an entire it's another entire story, especially coping with 2 toddlers. So please do well to watch out for that next week. Thank you, and bye.